Perfect. Thank you, Angelo, for the kind introduction and welcome to this webinar. Let me just invest a minute to explain that Alice is striving for decarbonization of freight transport and logistics in an affordable way. And on that, we are looking into the different technologies and ways to do it. And in the last few years, a lot of research has been done in different technologies, like using fuel cell, electric, or hydrogen, or biofuels, and of course, electrification with batteries. And after a few years, reality is still the sector is struggling to find a way to decarbonize in an affordable, competitive way. And in parallel, a lot of projects have been developed in electrified road systems. And Paula, if you can put the slide, if you don't mind. Then and We consider in Alice, and also because Lori Tavasszy, that has always been involved, advised us to have a deeper look into electrified road systems. And so far, this is the reason what we are having this webinar, looking into the interest, this technology, and the advancement of this technology, and then looking forward to the future to understand how electrified road systems can actually support decarbonization. So before the webinar, we sent a questionnaire. So then here you have the QR code to the questionnaire. Lori will introduce the answers we have received so far, but it would be great if you could use the time also in the webinar to go through the questionnaire. Is just 3-5 minutes, and that would give us a very good ground for the future. So without any further delay, I would like to pass the floor to Lori, that will go a little bit more in detail. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, so good afternoon, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm a professor at Delft University of Technology and Logistics and Freight Transport. And I'm grateful for Alice for hosting this and for allowing us to have a bit of a discussion on this point. Now, Angelo, we have a set of slides. Maybe you can help me with putting these on.
Yes, I believe Paula will share it now.
So let me start with the introduction. Electrified road systems have been under scrutiny and having been piloted for a decade or more now, and we know a lot about it now, how it's going, and we believe it's part of the electrification transition, and it deserves to be looked at in more detail. So for today, the objective of this session is to give you the latest information of the research that has been done. I, as a researcher myself, can appreciate this, and I'm also curious how it will land in practice. So I'll just share this agenda with you now. Maybe we can have the slides in presentation mode, please. And so the starting propositions are as follows. ERS is not, so electrified road systems, also known as electric road systems, they are not an alternative propulsion system. They're a charging system, and they're a complement and a competitor also for stationary charging. It is an addition to the electrification landscape, basically, on the infrastructure side. The promise that it has is that it is cheaper for logistics operations to run these compared to stationary charging, or in addition to stationary charging. That's the outcome of the research so far that has been done. Of course, there is a cost to it, which is, even with that cost, it's more efficient, but there is a big effort that is needed on the infrastructural side, which is also there, of course, for stationary charging. But this one is different because it connects very clearly to the roadside, which means that the road authorities have a bigger role. It is not I think, as far in terms of maturity as stationary charging. So it's closing in on TRL level 9. So it's 7, 8, 9, depending on which technology you look at specifically. We will hear more about that today. But our main position is that there's so much research being done which says that ERS is on balance effective and efficient, and it should be looked at in much more detail and also piloted much more extensively before we have equipped everything with stationary chargers. So the objective of today is to share the latest knowledge with you by different researchers and to discuss the implications. Next slide, please. So these are the outcomes of the first people who filled in the survey. It was ongoing, and we have not waited until the beginning of this seminar, but we had to break it off a couple of days earlier. So it's only 6 people who filled this in, but it's a nice mix of people, but most of them from the private side, so companies. They were not involved in dynamic charging of trucks. They said, yeah, we have moderate expectations, so it should have an influence. Some have low expectations, some have high expectations, so it's pretty nicely in the middle. We are curious what will be the result after this session also. And well, most people say it depends whether we want to engage, depends on how much time I have, depends on what is the financial feasibility and so on. So nothing surprising here at this moment. Next slide, please. The agenda now is that after this introduction, we will hear some presentations about the expected impacts. David Sebon from Cambridge University, followed by Michael Lehmann from Germany, the University of Applied Sciences Erfurt, and Jakob Rockstadius from RISE in Sweden. They have all done extensive research on these systems in the UK, in Germany, and in Sweden, and they will bring you the latest insights about what these systems, what they could do. We also have invited from the IRU, International Road Union, Ted Sotos, who I think, which is very important. It's unique. It doesn't have enough emphasis. How does the logistics sector feel about this? What are their priorities when making these decisions? After that, we have an intervention from Hakan Sundelin, who is with Electrion, one of the providers of these systems, but is also a member of a committee who's looking at the AFIR and the recalibration of the AFIR, the Alternative Fuel Infrastructure Regulations of the European Commission. And he has a view on the decision-making process, and he can give us some insights about how this process is going. And then there's ample time for discussion, where we will open the floor and together with Fernando moderate the discussion on points like who benefits, who would benefit from this, where is decision making, how to scale up, if at all, dynamic stationary charging both together, and what would be actions that are needed in the coming time. So all this will take until 3:30. And I trust there are no questions. If you have questions or points to remark about the agenda, then please use the chat facility and we will respond as soon as we can. So this is our short introduction to the day. We really appreciate you being here.